What would make a sitting member of a state board of education walk away and then warn parents to pull their kids out of public schools immediately? Today, we're unlocking a bombshell statement from Christina Boggess, what she claims is happening to parental rights and children's values, and why homeschool families everywhere should be paying close attention. Hi, I'm Jenny Province, award-winning broadcaster turned homeschool mom. Welcome to Homeschool Broadcast. I'm also a doctoral student studying education, and I love sharing what I'm learning with you. In this show, you'll find information and motivation on your homeschool journey. Hello, it is good to be back. I've been away for a few months because my health has just been struggling. As I've shared in the past, I have had struggles with chronic illness for about 6.5 years now, every single day, with chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia pain, nausea. It has been rough. And the last few months, I needed to take a break. But I have so many things on my mind and my heart that I want to share with you. I was recently on social media and I saw a repost by my friend Casey from @RedBrickSchoolhouse, and I found it very interesting. This is what she said. This caught my attention today. A sitting member of the Utah State Board of Education announced she will not seek re-election. I didn't agree with this woman on all policy positions, but when someone walks away from power, it is worth listening. Close quote. So I was curious and I wanted to read this post by this woman whose name is Christina Boggess. I have a lot of friends and family there, and I wanted to know what is going on in Utah. This is what Christina posted. My fellow citizens of District 8 and the great state of Utah, today I declare without apology or hesitation that I will not seek re-election to the Utah State Board of Education. I am done lending my name, my vote, and my silence to a broken, corrupt, and morally bankrupt system that no longer serves the children or families of this state. The corruption inside the Utah State Board of Education and the broader educational establishment is not subtle. It is brazen, pervasive, and rotting the soul of public education. Nearly every decision is now driven by not-so-hidden agendas, political cowardice, financial kickbacks, and raw personal ambition, not by what is best for students. The USBE has become a closed club that wages open war on the minds, values, and innocence of our children while systematically stripping parents of any meaningful voice. This is more than mere incompetence. It is betrayal on a grand scale by the very people you elected. Layer upon layer of dysfunction, mirrored and magnified in the Utah legislature, has turned governance into a circus of gridlock, self-preservation, and faux theatrical outrage that accomplishes nothing. Good ideas are buried, brave voices are punished, and the status quo is protected at all costs. The chaos is not accidental. It is the design of those who profit from it. I ran for this office to fight for you, your children, your values, your right to be heard. Instead, I have been forced to watch as even the loudest, quote-unquote, conservative voices fold, trade their voices for favor and money, or abandon every promise they made on the campaign trail. The Republican Party platform means nothing inside those walls. The word of the Lord means even less. Your concerns about pornography in libraries, radical gender ideology in classrooms, the erosion of academic excellence, and the assault on parental rights are mocked, ignored, or drowned out by the shrill demands of special interests and the timid silence of those who fear losing their seat more than losing their soul. I will not play this game any longer. I refuse to be a prop in their theater or fake reform. Serving the families and students of District 8 has been a great honor. You trusted me, you believed in me, and I have fought with everything I have. But the weight of the corruption, the chaos, and the spiritual abuse I have witnessed has become unbearable. Walking away is not surrender. It is the only honest act left to me, and a blazing call for the reckoning this state so desperately needs. My final message to every parent in Utah is blunt and urgent. Get your children out of Utah's government schools as quickly as possible. Real change is not coming. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as the corrupt intended it to work. Your children's minds, hearts, and futures are not safe inside it. With unyielding resolve and unwavering love for the families of District 8, Christina Boggess. Wow, I couldn't believe it when I read this, and I've read it several times, and every time I read it, something else stands out to me and sort of blows my mind. But at the same time, I'm not really that surprised. In the day and age that we live in, I'm not surprised to hear that there's corruption, that people care more about their power or their bias or money than they do about the children. And that these leaders who supposedly are doing what's best for the children and their families don't care about what parents want. The reaction to Christina Boggess's post, I've just read a few of the comments, and people were saying they were shocked. Some of them were saying they were sad, angry, and many were saying thank you. Thank you for trying to make a difference and shedding light on this. Others were asking questions. They're like, we want more details. And I feel the same way. I actually am interested in maybe having her on this podcast sometime. So if anyone has any connections with Christina Boggess, please connect us. I have so many questions for her. One thing I find interesting about the state of Utah is that I think some individuals that I know view Utah as completely safe and harmless and unbiased, but this has just shed light on the corruption and the money, and it's not saying that it's the state's fault, but there are elected individuals who either were corrupted beforehand or get corrupted while they're in office. And there are just so many special interest groups putting pressure on these politicians. And I know I have a lot to learn in this area, but I know that it's real and it exists. And I imagine it's happening in all states and countries. There is a battle. There's a battle for the minds and hearts of our children. Now, I don't know much about Christina Boggess, but I did watch an interview she did on YouTube with a channel called Politicket in April 2025. And I learned that she has lived in many different places. She was a foster child until she was 11 when she was adopted. She moved to Utah in 2015 and she joined the school board in 2023. And back then, actually, this interview that I watched was from April 2025. And when asked what the school board was like, she said, she used the words chaos, crazy. It feels like you're in 7th grade again. And I thought that was very enlightening. I think what this comes down to for me is that there are people in positions of power who have agendas. And I have seen bits and pieces of it just through my studies and my research and my experiences. But this was just so validating, I would say. Things that I had suspected or felt, even been impressed upon by the Lord that were going on, to read it by a politician who's saying, this is happening and I'm sick of it and I can't handle it anymore. So I'm leaving and I encourage you to get your kids out of these schools. It's just very disturbing to me and very sad because we know that there are many good educators out there who are trying their best and are not those who are in power. They're the ones that are on the ground level and working with the kids. Casey expressed this very well. She said, "This is not a criticism of individual teachers or staff. I've lived in multiple states and experienced a wide range of educational systems. That perspective has taught me not to be naive about the problems that exist, even when there are many good, well-intentioned people working inside of them." And I agree. I will say that there is no neutral person in this world, and there's no neutral person in the educational school system. I have friends that I love dearly who have really good hearts, but I don't want them raising my kids, to be honest with you. Like, they have different ideologies and different approaches that I know are not right for my children and not right for our family. We love for our kids to get to know all different kinds of people and learn from various teachers throughout their lives. But parents have the God-given responsibility and duty to teach their children. We believe parents are primarily responsible for their children's education and shouldn't outsource all of it to the government or to strangers or to their kids' peers. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 19 instructs parents to diligently teach God's laws and words to our children throughout the day and constantly talk about God's word in our home. And I have to share one of my new favorite quotes with you. This is from President Dallin H. Oaks. He said, "Parents also have a duty to teach their children practical knowledge apart from gospel principles. Families unite when they do meaningful things together. Family gardens build family relationships. Happy family experiences strengthen family ties. Camping, sports activities, and other recreation are especially valuable to bond families." Parents should educate children in the basic skills of living, including working in the yard and home, and learning languages. The teachers of these subjects can be parents or grandparents or members of the extended family. Families flourish when they learn as a group and counsel together on all matters of concern to the family and its members. Some may say, "But we have no time for any of that." To find time to do what is truly worthwhile, many parents will find that they can turn their family on if they turn all their devices off. And parents, remember, what those children really want for dinner is time with you. End quote. By homeschooling our children, we get back around 15,000 to 18,000 hours of their childhood. And that is the time we need to do the most important things that are truly worthwhile, educating our kids, bonding our family, and spending time with the Lord. There are really good families who do public school and love it, and their kids seem to turn out great. But after we prayerfully considered what's best for our family, we know that the government raising our children is not best for our family. It's not best for our children. They are safer at home. They're happier at home. And here's the thing, they're not in our home 24/7. We are out having fun, spending time with people, going on adventures. Sometimes I just sit back and marvel at the incredible childhood our kids are getting, if I do say so myself. And it's not extravagant. Most of the things we do are pretty simple, but they're fun and they're wholesome and they have lots of friends and they have really good social skills. And I am just so grateful every morning when I wake up and I don't have to rush to get our kids on the bus and our kids aren't anxious and they don't have homework to turn in. I just feel like this is what childhood is supposed to be like. Yes, there is discipline. Yes, there is hard work, but there is way more time for fun and pursuing our interests and bonding as a family and spending time with the Lord. And I just didn't know that life could be this beautiful. And this is coming from someone who's dealing with a really stressful, hard, chronic illness. I still marvel at the beauty and the peace that we experience as a family because God led us to homeschool. So back to Christina Boggess's post, I think this is going to be a wake-up call for many parents. And I do think that there are those who have this nudge to homeschool, but they don't have the confidence to do it, or they don't know anyone who does it. And so it's hard for them to wrap their minds around it at first. But maybe this message from someone on the Utah Board of Education is a wake-up call that will give them that confidence and courage to take the leap, swim against the current. And I think once you get into it, you realize it's really not that different. It's not that weird. Like, it's just a very natural way of living. If you are thinking about homeschooling and maybe feeling nervous or apprehensive, I've been thinking about you this week. And one of the thoughts that came to mind is if we don't feel qualified to teach our children after we were public schooled, doesn't that show that there's a flawed system? I would think after spending 12 or 13 years in a school system, we should come out feeling very confident to teach others what we just learned. But many of us didn't feel that way. And in my opinion, I think we need to break that cycle. You are more than qualified to teach your own children. If there are subjects that maybe you feel a little fuzzy on, that's okay. This is a great time to be alive and the best time in history to homeschool your kids. Not only are there resources, there's curriculum that are open and go. You don't have to do any preparation. But also, there are co-ops and groups, and homeschooling is on the rise. So there are many people in your community who want to band together. Parenting is challenging no matter what educational route you choose. But I just firmly believe that homeschool can be a lot less stressful, less work, and a lot more fun, while still providing a quality education. As I always encourage anyone who's considering homeschooling, take it to the Lord. He cares about your children even more than you do, and education's important to him, and so he will guide and direct you on your path. Thanks for ditching school with me today. I have a gift for you. I recently wrote a children's book to help little ones learn how to protect themselves and put on the armor of God. This book is currently for sale on Amazon, but I want to give you a free ebook version just for being here and being my friend and my listener. So to get your free copy of My Armor of God, go to the website myarmorbook.com. If you like what you heard today, please leave a 5-star review. It helps the podcast to grow and spread. And click subscribe or follow so you'll never miss an episode. I'm Jenny Province, signing off.